Hello, everyone. Ooh, that's really loud. Good afternoon. It is 5 minutes past when Adam said we were going to start. So we're going to get this party rolling. Marnie's making the rounds, rallying people for our social event tonight. So that's going to be a ton of fun. So welcome to our, this says, Washington, Alaska HFMA Spring Conference. My script says fall, but I happen to know it's spring, thank goodness. My name is Ann Peterson. I'm the chapter president. I am the current year chapter president and the incoming chapter president, which we'll talk about later. But before we get started, I want to just take a moment to recognize all of our sponsors and business partners. Without them, yes, give them a round of applause. Without them, this would not be possible. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We have a fantastic agenda planned for our spring conference and reception this evening, as Marnie was advertising. I believe it includes a DJ, dancing, and karaoke, and beverages. Yes, and I believe that starts at 5:30. Ish. So I definitely would encourage attendance there. We also will have, throughout the conference, there'll be opportunities to win 3 Visa gift cards valued at $150, $100, and $50. So just stop by each of the exhibitor booths to collect, your raffle tickets so that you can enter to win. If you require CPE credits, there's a CPE sign-in at the back door that Marie's modeling. So please be sure to check in on that. And hopefully you've all had a chance to download the app, the CVent app. It is really super cool and allows you to see the agenda. There should be the materials linked there as well. And you can also, there's some kind of fun things that you can do to connect. So, all right, so without further ado, I'm going to call up the lovely Marie Smith and Marnie Leonard. We are rolling out. We are super excited. We have a new chapter flag, and this is totally new for us. We're super excited. This flag, for those of you who have been paying attention, we do social networking events throughout, like every month. We do, and we kind of go all over. So this flag is going to accompany us as it'll make its way across to all of our different events. And so I'm not sure, Marnie, do you want to talk a little bit about this? Symbolic?
Sure. So hello, everyone. Marnie Leonard. It's really great to see everyone's face. So we are super excited to unveil this flag. This will be kind of our trademark that will travel with us to our social events. And help build our chapter brand. So as you can see here, it's intended to represent both the state of Alaska and the state of Washington. Over here we have the Dipper, Big Dipper, and Northern Star, and is intended to represent really our mission to improve healthcare, specifically, looking at value and how we continue to advance the just our industry and the important work we're doing. The mountains, because we have a lot of them in both of our states, is really intended to represent the steadfast commitment and the strong foundation that this organization has, and that we are seeking the heights to make it better. So anything to add?
The flag will be out at our photo station, so you can take pictures with it. And then we also have stickers for you to take home, so we can see how far our chapter goes. So make sure if you have it, you take a picture and show us everywhere you go. It'll be great.
Yeah, so that's it.
Thank you, ladies. So the goal is to create a whole sense of fear of missing out. So we want to get that flag out there with pictures on social media. We had this morning, we had our volunteer summit. You may have noticed that this room was partitioned off. We had a fantastic 30-plus people participating in some goal setting and plans for executing on those goals for this next chapter year. And at the end of that volunteer summit, we had each table get their pictures taken with the flags. And so we're going to get that rolling out onto social media as soon as possible. So again, to create some excitement. I have a PowerPoint. I'm going to go through just a little bit because I know that we're, of course, I'm already off track on time, but wanted to do some thank yous. So I've already mentioned the business partners and sponsors. Our conference co-chairs, Sean Nolan and Kim Polanco, could you please stand up and wave your arms and thank you, thank you, thank you. Without that, this planning starts almost as immediately after the conference is over. Planning for next year begins. So they've done some fantastic work. Marie Smith, can you just wave your arms? You just met her a little bit ago. She is our outgoing VP of programs. So her team has been responsible for all of our programs, including this one. So thank you, Marie. I should say she's our outgoing VP of programs, but incoming Secretary Treasurer. So she officially entered the President track as of our installation dinner last night. So let's see, who else we have? We have our programs committee, so that's comprised of many people that plan this event. And then we also will be doing our chapter awards tomorrow. So Mike Smith every year he just does a fantastic job helping to coordinate that and get those awards ordered. And then Becky Lidke, a call out to her, she takes care of our founders points, which is how we get our bronze, silver, gold awards. And we have several people tomorrow that'll be recognized. And then our social networking and installation dinner planner, Nicole, is she in here? There in the back, Nicole Walkman. She has, again, I hope that many of you have been participating in our social networking events, but we also had a fantastic installation dinner last night at the Escape Room. And I only mention this to make you, it encourages participation, right? So it was an installation dinner for our board of directors and our officer team. So if you are interested in participating in that event, then you have an opportunity to run for the board next year, or you have an opportunity to volunteer in different ways with the chapter. So with a lot of volunteer work comes a lot of reward. Okay, so here is a list of our chapter officers. I cannot possibly see that from here, but I can kind of go by memory. So I'm the president. I think I mentioned we're calling it a victory lap. So similar to Jesse Meyer, who did 2 years as president due to some turnover within our leadership team. We had turnover kind of mid this chapter year and just didn't have anyone that was really ready to step in and be president-elect as of this year. So Jesse is, so I'm continuing as president. Marnie will do a second year as president-elect. Marie Smith is stepping into the secretary-treasurer role. Let's see, Jesse's past president, and then VP of Innovations is Cale Middleton. He's done that job for about a year, so he's going to do a full term for that. And then VP of Programs, David Imus. So David, so where are you, David? Did he run away? He snuck away. Okay. So if officers are in, can we just stand up and wave your arms real quick? Let everybody know who you are. There we go. Thank you. All right, and then here are our board members. I'm not going to read the names, but the thing that's important for you to know is board terms are 2-year terms. We rotate every half the board, so it's a 10-person board member. And every year we roll off 5, or 5 come up for re-election, so you can serve up to 2 terms of 2 years, so a total of 4 years. So this chart just kind of shows where people are at in their terms. All right, let's see, and these are just some key committee leaders. We have just an awesome set of volunteers, and we are really working hard to fill seats so that we have people that can help get all the work done, because again, this is all volunteer work. We all have daytime jobs that keep us very busy. And I say all of this because we are always looking for additional volunteers. Okay, so we talked about this last year. For those of you who were here at the spring conference last year or at the fall conference, we talked about the fact that we have a pillar structure for our organizational structure. So we have a community pillar, which is formerly known as, I would say, membership communications. We have a connectivity pillar, which is our programs primarily. And then we have administration, which is kind of all the stuff that has to get done, the chapter business, but may not always be so fun. And then we have, it kind of lists out what's underneath each of those pillars. And then we have a structure so that we try to make sure that we've got succession planning and mentorship in place kind of at all ends. So for example, for the VP of Innovations, who's Cale Middleton, I mentioned, I am his executive sponsor as the president. So that as I roll off my president year next year and Marnie rolls on, she would be the executive sponsor. So we just want to make sure that we've got good support for our leaders. I'm not going to read this to you, even though I'm sure you want me to. These are the vision statements that we wrote out probably almost 2 years ago for the pillars. And this presentation, if it's not already in the app, should be there so you can go and digest any of these pieces that you so desire. Oh boy, this is really small. So I can't even tell which one that is. Is that VP of Programs? Okay, cool. So that's David Imus's org chart, and so you can see that so when we started this org chart, we had many orange boxes, which I called open boxes. So you can see we've turned all of these boxes blue, but I envision, based on our volunteer summit this morning, that we'll have some more boxes to be added. We definitely got the message that we need to do some more online content for programs. So. And here is Kale, VP of Innovations. You can see the different areas that he has. We're really going to be working on enhancing our communication and our social media presence this year. That's going to be key for him and his team. And then here's the administration team. And what we decided here is, rather than having any one person over this pillar, that the officer team would share in that. So our officer team meets, we have a call once a week, just a huddle call for half an hour on Friday mornings. And then we have a monthly leadership team meeting, and then we have 4 board meetings a year. So that's kind of our different ways of staying connected. So this was our chapter success plan for the current year. And I'm going to have to walk over here so I can see a little bit better. So what I wanted to do is to share with you how we're doing. We're nearing the end of our year. Our year ends on May 31st. So our first one, we had a goal around sponsor retention. And we set the goal saying we wanted to achieve a 95% retention of our sponsors. And what we realized is that probably wasn't the right goal to have. It's probably more about dollars and number of sponsors, because what we saw in the market was some consolidation of our business partners. So that wasn't turned out to be the best measure, but we'll show you how we did. And then we monthly social networking events. That was a big push for us, and we'll show you how we did on that. We also wanted to increase our provider attendance by 10% at our conferences, beginning with Spokane. So we'll show you how we did there. And then a board installation plan for 2024. So that got executed on last night, and increasing our participation. So how did we do? I'm really bad at doing slides clearly because this is very small, but you can kind of go by the colors, right? So on the sponsor retention, we decided that maybe we didn't retain all of the exact same sponsors as last year, but we lost 6 and we added 6. So we had 25, and we're going to have 25 by the end of the year at least. Maybe we'll have more. So we achieved that one. A goal of holding 10 monthly social networking events, we will actually hold 14 by the end of May. So I'm hoping that you've had a chance, keep watch. Those are all put out on our website. It's just such a great way to connect. We have, so increasing provider attendance at our conferences, we are off track on that. We did, for this conference, it looks like we have 1 more than we had last year, but that was a big point of discussion in our volunteer summit planning, and that's going to be a big emphasis for this next year. And then our increase in our installation celebration, we thought we would get about 30 or 31. So we didn't do the official head count yet, but we're darn close, but I think we'll do better next year. So anything that any of the officers would add? Okay, so what are we going to do this next chapter year? What are our goals? And this is all, so we have to submit a chapter success plan every year. It's due by July 1st. Ours will be done by the end of this conference. And so it's broken into 3 components. There's a value component, an engagement, and then innovation. So on the value side, David Imus, as our VP of Programs, is the owner of this goal, and he's going to be assisted by Shayna Desjardins. I'm sorry, Shayna, I probably butchered that name. So each of the assistants here on this list are brand new board members. So incoming for this new term, and we thought this would be a great way for them to get more involved in the chapter. So the first goal is to improve our educational content so that we increase so there's a member survey many of you may have received, and if you do, we ask you that you respond and provide feedback. But we looked at our scores, and we want to increase our score on our value from a 3.72 to a 3.87. The 3.87 is the HFMA annual or national average, so we want to at least get to there. So we are below the national average, so we know that we have an opportunity to improve our educational content. So we've got lots of great ideas. If you're interested in volunteering in any of that, please see David Imus, who is apparently not in the room right now, so we can't know what he looks like. Okay, moving on to engagement. So Marie Smith is the owner of this goal, to be assisted by Amy Church. And this is, again, we're redoing this, increasing provider attendance by 10%. So we're going to give it another go around, and we've got some really good ideas about how to accomplish that. And then goal number 3 around innovation. So Kale, as the VP of Innovations, only makes sense to own the innovation one, assisted by Angie Morris, who I just learned is from Minnesota. Andover is where I lived before I moved to Chicago. That's where she's from, so a very small world, right? All right, so this is really about enhancing member communication and visibility through our website, through social media. So any of you who've been spending any time on our website, we definitely have opportunity to improve. So we've got some great people on deck lined up to help with this, and we'll figure out some success metrics. We know that there are, kind of industry standard things as it relates to hits on your website and other stuff like that, that people that know more about this stuff than me can tell us about. So those are our goals for next year, and we're excited, and we're hoping that we will improve our overall member value scores as a result. All right, and then lastly, I just wanted to call out upcoming events. So we have our Alaska conference on April 29th at Alyeska Resort, which will be amazing. I just listed out our social networking events that are upcoming, including an April 18th event in Alaska. We have our women's conference on September 13th. That is at the same Providence location that it was held last year, and it was an amazing success, an incredible day. We have the HFMA annual conference in Las Vegas at Mandalay Bay. Yay. And then we have our fall conference in October, and we will be, it's Spokane, and we'll be back at Northern Quest. There's some casino theme going on here, I feel. So I think that's the end.